Okay, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Here we are, going live to you from South Korea. Welcome to the third ISP IELTS live writing lesson with me, Nick. And it's Sunday, the 28th of November. It's 5 p.m. Nana Kwame is there. Hello, Nana. How are you doing? Nice to see you again. We're going to start in a second. See if some more people show up first of all. Okay, while you're waiting, I'm just going to MC Wilson. Hello, MC Wilson. How are you doing? Nice to see you. I hope my internet connection holds up for this. I keep getting Monawar Hossein. Hello. Welcome. We've got some people tuning in, everybody. Nice to see you all. Good to see you again. Thanks for tuning in to this broadcast. Like I said, my internet, it never works that well, the internet, for these broadcasts. We'll see how it goes. Felix is here again. Hello, Felix. How are you? Nice to see you again. Hope you had a nice week. We got Mujamel from Bangladesh. Hello. Nice to see you. I hope you guys are well. All right. Hope you had a nice week at work or college or university or just hanging out or whatever you were doing. I hope you had a good time. Great to see you. Welcome back. Okay, so let me just remind you about my YouTube channel. It's very slowly growing. If you haven't already, please go to the ISP IELTS YouTube channel and subscribe and watch some of the videos. Give them a like, give them a thumbs up, and stuff. Okay, so we've got Felix. Felix is there. He's from Kenya. I hope you guys can all hear me. I keep saying live video interrupted. It's very annoying, but I hope we can get on with this. Can you hear me, guys? Yes, you can. Okay, cool. So we're going to start the lesson. Okay, we don't have too many people in here today, but maybe there will be more people joining us in just a few minutes as we carry on, I hope. Yeah, leave me as we go, leave me a comment, write a comment down below about where you're from, what what your name is. You could also tell me why you're studying IELTS. Why are you studying IELTS? Why are you learning IELTS? And when are you going to do your test? And what's your goal? Why? Yeah. Are you going to move abroad? Are you going to study abroad in another country? What's your reason for doing IELTS? All right, guys. So we're gonna get going with the lesson. Okay. Um, Again, I keep getting these interruptions. I don't know why that happens, but hopefully you can see what's going on. Today is pie charts day. Okay, pie chart day. So today we are going to study how to write a part 1 IELTS writing response to a pie chart question like this. Okay, this is one that I found on the internet, and it is a comparison of energy production. All right. Hello, Serwa Bonsu. Nice to see you. Hope you're well. Okay. We don't have much information on this one. We don't have a country, but we can deal with that. That's okay. So let's start with the first step of the question, guys. What do we do first? First, we have to look at the details. All right. So, okay, it's looking at energy. It's talking about energy production. Nice to meet you as well, Sirwa. Thanks for joining the lesson. I hope it's useful for you. Remember, guys, this is the ISP IELTS live Facebook writing lesson. IELTS Task 1 pie charts today. So my idea is to go through all the different types of question you can get for task one: pie charts, bar charts, line graphs, maps, diagrams. I'm going to go sort of do one each week until we run out. And then we'll move on to something else. But maybe you can tell me. You tell me. Give me a comment, right? What do you want me to teach you? You can tell me. And I will plan a lesson on a Sunday for you guys, if you can tell me what you want. All right. So this is what we're up to today, guys. Energy production comparison. Okay, so we're comparing two years. First one is 1995, and the second one is 2005. What are the types of energy that we are talking about? So we're talking about coal. Okay, that's important. We're talking about gas. We're talking about petro, which I presume means petrol, petrochemical perhaps, nuclear, and then we have an other. It doesn't really matter what the other is. The other could be, solar power or whatever it is. But for this, we don't need to know. We just, as it says, other. Okay. So our job, or your job, is to compare the 2 years. Okay, what's been the change? What has changed from this year to this year? Okay, and we need to. Hello, Mujamel Hack. Is a good question. He says, "What is a pie chart?" Well, that's a good question. A pie chart is this. Can you see this round circle? And we call this a pie chart because maybe you don't know, I'm not sure what a pie is. In English, a pie is a kind of food. It's a round food. It looks a bit like a cake. And usually there's meat or vegetables inside. Okay. And you can slice the pie. Okay. All right. You can use a knife and you can cut the pie when you eat it into a slice like this, like a cake. So the reason we call them pie charts is because they look like pies, which is a kind of food. You cut them into different size pieces, big pieces and small pieces. And the big piece is a bigger quantity, and the small piece is a small quantity. So we can also use this to represent information or data. Okay, the big piece, let's say in this one, the gray piece or the orange piece, they are a big quantity. And the, green one or the red one is a small quantity. Okay. In this case, it's about energy production. So it is the quantity of this kind of energy compared to the other ones, the other types, coal, nuclear, petro. And that's pie charts. Now, the information here is represented in a circular form, in a pie form, but it could be also in a bar chart form. Okay, it's just a different way of showing the data. Okay, so the information is shown in a different way. We've got Eshan Neil. Hi, Eshan Neil. How are you doing? Nice to have you with us. Okay, so that's what a pie chart is. It's a way of showing data and information visually, hopefully in a clear way. And in the IELTS test, your job is to compare or to talk about this information that you can see. Okay, the numbers, all right, 29%, 6%, 19%. You have to talk about them. And especially you have to talk about how this year is different from this year. All right, you've got to compare the 2 years and the numbers from the different years. Okay, so that's what a pie chart is. Okay, usually in the IELTS test, you'll have a question and it'll have 2 pie charts, or maybe 3 pie charts, which you have to talk about and compare. Okay. I suppose there might be one with 1 pie chart. That's okay. But normally you have more than one because in task 1, part of the part of the job is to compare, to make comparisons. Obviously, it's difficult to compare if you just have one. So they usually give you two or sometimes even three. Okay, so let's, I guess we're going to begin, guys. Okay. Oh. Oh, I seem to have lost my... Bear with me, guys. I have lost my... Wasn't very clever. Let me get it back. So thanks to IELTS, Liz, by the way. I'm just borrowing your question. I hope you don't mind. By the way, it's a good website, guys. IELTS Liz, if you don't know that one already. Okay. So you can have a look at that website and that will give you some help. Okay, back to this again. Okay, back to our pie charts. Okay, so we remember, guys, this is ISP IELTS live lesson on task 1 writing pie charts. So let's begin. What do we do first? We're going to start writing first of all. Okay, let's start writing our answer. Okay, let's start writing our answer. Okay, I'm going to put this up here so we can see it. Hopefully you guys can see. The first thing we do, guys, what do we do first of all? First of all, we have to do our introduction. What do we do in the introduction? Perhaps you can remember from last week, if you watched the lesson last week, what should we do in the introduction? That's first. Does anybody know? Does anybody want to give me a comment? Okay, so in the introduction, we have to say, let's start with this. The pie charts show what? What do they show us, guys? I'm going to make this bigger so we can all read it on your screens. If you're watching on a smartphone, hopefully you can see this one. Okay. I'm going to make it a bit bigger so we can see. The pie charts show, or let's say give, and here we've got comparison of energy production, guys. Comparison of energy production. As you know, with the introduction, what we have to do is rephrase or paraphrase the title or the question. So we have to write it in a different way. So the pie charts give, let's say, show us how energy was produced in an unknown, because we don't know the country in both in the years 1995 and 2005. Okay, so the pie charts show us how energy was produced in an unknown country in the years 1995 to 2005. We could actually mention the different types of energy if you'd like. The pie charts show us how energy was produced using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 types of energy in an unknown country in the years 1995 to 2005. Okay. Okay, Sirwar's got a good one, right? The two pie charts represent how energy is made between 1995 and 2005. Sirwar, that is an excellent introduction. Apart from, you must remember to use a past tense because it's 1995 and 2005 is finished, so we need to use was. Okay, not is. Remember, guys, if you're talking about something in the past, then you have to use the past tense. So, but other than that, it was a very good one. But let's see. Okay, here's our introduction. The pie charts show us how energy was produced using 5 types of energy in an unknown country in the years 1995 and 2005. Okay, I like my one. Why do I like my one? Because it talks about the 5 types of energy. In the part 1, if you have, different different items to mention, I think it's good to do it in the introduction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm saying all of the things that I need to say in my introduction. Okay, I'm saying the date, 95, 2005. I'm saying that it's energy production. I'm saying that there's 5 different types of energy, and I'm also saying that currently it is an unknown country. We don't have the name of the country given. So I'm including everything that I need to include in my introduction. I paraphrased comparison of energy production. I didn't use this in my introduction. I said how energy was produced. I changed the phrasing. I paraphrased. This is crucial, guys. I'm going to write this word down here. Okay, it's not part of the question. We've got Waleed Muhal. Hello. How are you doing today? Paraphrasing is important in IELTS. Okay, this is not part of the question, the answer that I'm writing. I'm just telling you guys, paraphrasing is important in IELTS. You must learn how to paraphrase. Paraphrase means writing something that you're given, some information, in a different way, with different words, saying the same information in a different way. It's very crucial. It's crucial in the part 1 writing. It's crucial in speaking, and it's crucial in listening and reading because it helps you to understand the text in the reading and understand the listening in the listening, because they use a lot of paraphrasing in there. So it's something that's really important in IELTS is paraphrasing. Okay. If you remember one thing today, then remember that one. Good. Okay, so that was our introduction. Okay. I hope that was clear. Now, let's copy this one. When we do after we've done our introduction, we move on to what, guys? What comes next after the introduction? What do we do next? Anybody know? So MC Wilson says, why 5 types of energy since others could contain more than one that were combined and not mentioned? That is true. I mean, there's 5 slices of the pie is what I'm saying. We don't know how many are in this other. Maybe if I change it to sources, it might make it a little bit clear. We don't know how many are in other, so we're just going to count it as 1 for this purpose. Because if we start trying to guess how many different sources are in the green slice, we're going to get lost, we're going to get confused, and it's going to turn into a nightmare. So that's why we just count that as 1. Okay, we've got Bishal KC. Hello, Mohammed Abu Newaj Ferdusi Mona Mukti. Okay, some guys are saying overview. Overview is next. Correct. Do you have a good overview for me? Can you help me write my overview, guys? So what shall we say in the overview? Who's got some good ideas? I'm sure you've got some good ideas. So as usual, we start with overall. Okay, I like to start with overall. And let's do a very simple overview for this one because we can. Coal and gas accounted for the biggest source of energy production in both 1995 and 2005, while what should we say, nuclear and other were the smallest. What do you think about that, guys? Do you think that that is a good general overview? I hope so. Let me just make it bigger so we can see it. Oh, okay. So overall, coal and gas accounted for the biggest source of energy production in both 1995 and 2005, while nuclear and other were the smallest. I'm going to put other in speech marks like that because it's sort of a bit mysterious. We don't know what other is, so it looks better if we do that. So that's my overview. I recommend for the overview just giving a general piece of information about the data that you have. You know, you could say what the biggest thing is and what the smallest thing is. Crucial thing in the overview, guys. I'm going to actually write overview here. Okay, the crucial thing in the overview is do not say any numbers. Don't say any of the percentage, like 29%, 4%, 6%. Don't say this in the overview. Okay, only put the specific numbers, specific data in the body of the report. Okay. Okay, so we've got our introduction. The pie charts show us how energy was produced using 5 sources of energy in an unknown country in the years 1995 to 2005. Overall, coal and gas accounted for the biggest source of energy production in both 1995 and 2005, while nuclear and other were the smallest. Good. Okay, what's next? I think we all know what's next. Next is the main body of the report. So, oops, there goes my phone. So, guys, what are we going to say about these two pie charts? We need to talk about the numbers. So let's start with in 1995. I want to start with that, all right? Let's make it a little bit bigger. Okay. In 1995, what's the biggest? Coal was the biggest source of energy, coming in at 29.80%. And in, oops, second place was gas at 29.63%. In 2005, both had increased. Can you see how much they increased? To 30.93% and 30.31% respectively. Now, I like this word respectively, guys. Do you know this word, respectively? We use it, okay, when we are referring to the sort of the items that we're talking about. So, respectively, first we talked about coal, and then we talked about gas. So that means this first number is about coal, and this second number is about gas. When we use respectively, that's what it's for. That's the function. Okay, it's talking about, it's saying that this is referring back to the first thing and this is referring back to the second thing. So it's a good word to put in your IELTS, task 1 writing. So in 1995, coal was the biggest source of energy, coming in at 29.80%. And in second place, I need to get rid of these capital letters. In second place was gas at 29.363%. In 2005, both had increased to 30.93% and 30.21% respectively. What should we talk about next? Petro. Petro was the third largest. Let's go with largest source. Third largest energy source in both 1995 and 2005. In 1995, it accounted for, I also like this expression, guys, account for something. Accounted for 29.27% of production, while in 2005 it was only, because it went down, maybe we could say it dropped to, let's make some more space here. Hopefully you can still see if you're watching on a phone. It dropped to 19.55%. I don't know if Microsoft PowerPoint is the best program to do these on, but it's the one that I'm using. So if you have another suggestion of another program I could use for this, let me know. There are some issues. So petrol was let's put the third largest energy source in both 1995 and 2005. In 1995, it accounted for 29.27% of production, while in 2005, it dropped to 19.55%. Okay. So, you are watching the ISP IELTS live writing lesson. Excuse me. Part 1. Writing Part 1 IELTS pie charts. Hope everybody's well. Hope you're doing well, guys. We're in the middle of our body paragraph here. Okay. Let's carry on. Okay. And talk about the other ones too. So, what can we say about the other two? We can say the two lowest sources of energy production, or smallest sources maybe, of energy production were nuclear and other in both years. In 1995, nuclear made up and accounted for, we can say, are both similar. Can you see accounted for, and made up? Similar. Okay, so we're talking about quantity, how much of it. Nuclear made up 6.40%, which rose in 2005 to 10.10%. The proportion, okay, let me say another word here, guys, proportion. So proportion is the size, okay, the piece. This is a proportion, like the black proportion, the gray proportion, the orange proportion. That's the quantity. And so we use this to talk in a pie chart. Okay, so when you talk about dividing up a pie chart, we say proportion. So the proportion of energy produced, by other. I like to put other in speech marks because it's not an actual real word. It's not a real thing. It's a sort of unknown quantity. Other. What is other? Well, if you have something like this, it's good to put it in, use the speech marks like this. The proportion of energy produced by other in 1995 was, where's other? 4.9%. And in 2005, it had risen, using a bit of grammar there, past perfect, had risen to 9.10%. Okay. So that is kind of the whole ball game, guys. Yeah, we have our introduction. Let's just put introduction. Introduction, we've got our body here, and we have our overview. So introduction, overview, and body of the text. So what did we do? Well, the first thing we did was looked at the graph or the chart. We looked at the title and all the information around. We looked at the years. We looked at which is the biggest and the smallest pieces or proportions. Remember proportions in the chart? And we started to get an idea of what we were going to say. Then we wrote our introduction, which, as you know, is a paraphrase of the question. The question in this case is short, so we couldn't really copy exactly what it said, but we had to make our own introduction, which we did. The pie charts show us how energy was produced using 5 sources of energy in an unknown country in the years 1995 and 2005. Then we moved on to our overview. Overall, coal and gas accounted for the biggest source of energy production in both 1995 and 2005. Sorry, I should put biggest sources because it's plural. So this is the point where you look back, guys, on your writing. What did you write? Did you make any mistakes? Do you need to change the spelling, or do you need to, proofread, edit? The biggest sources of energy production in both 1995 and 2005, while nuclear and other were the smallest. Overview. Body. In 1995, coal was the biggest source of energy, coming in at 29.80%. And the second place was gas at 29.63%. In 2005, both had increased to 30.93% and 30.21% respectively. Petrol was the third largest energy source in both 95 and 2005. In 1995, it accounted for 29.27% of production, while in 2005, it dropped to 19.55%. The two lowest sources of energy production were nuclear and other in both years. In 1995, nuclear, why does it keep doing that? Let's get rid of the capital N, made up 60.40%, which rose in 2005 to 10.10%. Okay, the proportion of energy produced by other in 1995 was 4.90%, and in 2005 it had risen to 9.10%. All right. Cool. Good. Excellent. What did we do? Let's just talk about the body. Let's talk about our approach to the body. How did I do it? Well, we got a pen. Let's do a pen. What did I do? I talked about the biggest things first. Okay, I talked about the biggest ones first. And it's very simple, actually. I went big, medium, small. Okay, actually, I put these together. I talked about these together because they're both big. And then I talked about the one in the middle, Petro. And then I talked about the two small ones. Okay, that was my approach. Okay, go big, medium, small. Your approach may be different, or in a different graph, a different bar chart, the approach may be different. You might talk about the smallest one if it's really, 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 really tiny. You might talk about the really, really, really biggest one. It's up to you. I like to go step by step, big, medium, small. It is logical. It seems logical to me to do. Okay, to do it that way. Okay, Reefer, I don't know if you're still there. They've got a lot of great ideas, guys, in the comments. And Felix says, good work. Thank you, Felix. Thanks for coming again. Okay. What I'm going to do for you guys is to put all of this together now. Oops. Let's have a look. I'm going to put it all together into one. And then I'm going to share it on my Facebook page. Okay. And you'll be able to... That didn't work very well. The beauty of live broadcasts. Difficult work. I'm going to put them all together into one answer. I'm going to share it on my Facebook page. And then after the lesson just now, you guys can go over there and have a look and see the whole answer. And you can read it again in your own time and maybe try it and write your own answer to the question. Okay. And see how you do it. Maybe you can do it differently. Okay. In fact, maybe what I will do is on that post, I will put a new pie chart question, which you can try yourself. All right. And why don't you write your answer in the comment under that post, right? Why don't you try and doing that? And I'll see if, you know, see if I can give some help to you. Serwa says it was very helpful. Thanks. Oh, thank you very much, Serwa. I appreciate that. That's why I do it. I'm trying to help you guys out. Okay. Thank you for coming and watching. It's not that difficult when you know how to do it. Yeah, it's a process. You follow the same process every time. Remember, introduction, overview, and then talk about each item one by one. Probably start with the biggest to the smallest. For me, is the most logical way of doing it. Great. Okay, guys. Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate. MC Wilson says great work. Thank you, MC Wilson. I hope that's Muck Wilson or MC Wilson. I'm not sure. But it's great to have you with us. Thank you so much for coming. How many words? That's a good question. I forgot to check. Like, fingers crossed it's going to be enough. Sometimes when I do the live ones, I can be a little bit under because I'm kind of like talking and uh, writing at the same time, which means I'm not concentrating. So we may be a little bit short. Let's see. Drum roll. Word count is 161. Okay, 161. So we are in the sweet spot. For me, 160 or 170 is the perfect length. Okay, that's the way that I would. Hello, Shabir. Unfortunately, you've just caught us at the end of the lesson, but you guys can watch this again on the Facebook ISP IELTS Facebook page. A 161 is good. 160 to 170 for me is a good length. It's not too long. It means that in the exam you still have a lot of time left for task 2, but it also is enough words to go over the limit and also to provide sufficient in analysis of the data. Okay, so that's what I would aim for if I was you. 161, about 160, 170 should be your sweet spot to aim for. Okay. Excellent, guys. Can we have 2 lessons in a week? Felix says. Well, Felix, I'm doing 1 per week at the moment because I'm pretty busy at the other times. I will possibly do some paid lessons at other times during the week, but I can't always give my time for free, unfortunately. I'm happy to help you guys out, once a week for free. That's fine, but if I organize some other lessons, I'll let you know, but they may not be free, but they won't be very expensive. I'm planning to do more lessons on Zoom. Zoom is a good platform because you can have, a lot of students attending and they all pay, just a little bit each, maybe $1 or something like that. Everybody pays a little bit of money and we have a great lesson together. So I might try to organize something like that on some other days during the week. If you have some ideas and suggestions, please email me or send me a message, Facebook on ISP IELTS. If you have some ideas for lessons that you would like me to do, okay, and then I will take that into account and make a lesson based on your suggestions, guys. Felix says, "How much can we pay?" Well, you know what? What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make lessons, accessible for everybody around the world, guys. That is why we have the internet. Everyone around the world can use it, yeah? So, here in Korea, I live in South Korea, right? So you guys are in different countries everywhere, and I want this to be accessible to everybody at a good price, at affordable price for everyone. So, my plan is to make really, really cheap lessons. I'm thinking about $1, like one US dollar per lesson. Something really that anybody can pay, right? I think many people can pay that, right? Maybe not everybody, but if you go to study in a British Council or a real a real academy, you pay like $20, $30 or more per hour. I'll try and do something cheap and reasonable for everybody. Okay, my idea is to have many students attending, but all paying like a little bit to get involved. Okay, that means that I can do my lessons and still survive and get paid a little bit, and you guys can come and learn about IELTS from me. But I will send more information about that in the coming days, coming weeks. For now, guys, you can keep coming to my free lessons on Sundays. It's going to be free every Sunday. Okay. So come on down, same time every week. Thank you so much for coming, everybody. I really appreciate it today. Thank you very much. I will post the question answer on my Facebook wall. Please have a look at that after this lesson. Check it again. And I'll put a second question. I'll put a new pie chart question for you to try. Okay. And then you can try that and put your answer on the post, yeah? And see how you get on. All right. And I'll give you a comment. I'll give you some feedback. Okay. Great, guys. Okay. Well, thanks so much for coming once more. I appreciate everybody's attendance. You did really well. And I'm going to see you again next Sunday, guys. Thank you so much. Okay. Have a great day, everybody. Bye bye. Thank you.